Ladies and gentlemen, the most controversial show in the Major Arena Soccer League under review. I'm your host, Phil Ivanko. That is the head of officials for the MASL, Ryan Sigich. We take the most controversial plays around the MASL, and Ryan gives his opinion on it. But at first, we've got breaking news, Ryan. The players and teams of the MASL are officially on notice because my good friend Ryan Sigich is back on the field this weekend. How does it feel?
It's been a long time off, but I am coming back.
That's it? That's all you got for me?
That's all I got.
Tempers flare in Milwaukee between the Wave and Kansas City Comets. We've got Zach Reggett. We've got Breno Oliveira. They get after it. And in my opinion, Ryan, you either do nothing or you send them both away with the blue card. That's what happened. In my opinion, correct decision.
I agree. Bruno's getting held just a bit there, and he goes down, and then he just totally fakes and holds his face, and then, Reggett gets over him and taunts him a bit. And now all of a sudden, Bruno's back up and fine and gets in Reggett's face. So good entertainment here, actually. I think I agree with the two blue card penalties here by Austin Saney. They could have easily gotten a yellow card each as well. One to Reggett for taunting and then one for the fake. So I agree with this.
Are you trying to get us in trouble with Breno?
Why is that, Phil?
Ryan, we've got a pair of plays between Utica City FC and the St. Louis Ambush. Two players, one from each team involved in this incident here. Nelson Santana on Utica, Rafael Araujo in St. Louis. First, third quarter, we've got a penalty kick given for this push by Santana on Araujo. Ryan, I know there's a whole bunch of considerations for penalty kicks in our game as opposed to just a foul in the outdoor game. I've got a penalty kick on this one. What about you?
Well, I don't really. I mean, Nelson, he gets his arm up high. They're jostling for the ball, and then he comes back and pushes, and then Araujo just totally fakes. So actually, the initial foul was probably that arm coming up high. But I don't have a penalty kick here. I mean, there's just not a lot in it. This is an outlier from what typically is given as a penalty kick. Something has to have a higher threshold of severity or stop a clear, promising attack at goal. Simple foul only for me.
We've got one more play from this game, from this pair, fourth quarter now. And Ryan, I understand why this double blue card was given on Araujo and Santana, but I'm going to argue it's late in the game. We've got a close one. I don't like to see referees get involved at the end of the game. Did Santana bump into him intentionally? 1,000%. Inarguable, in my opinion. But I'd like to keep it 5-on-5 as we get close in late games. What do you think?
Okay, I mean, yeah, I could see that. I mean, this one's a bit comical to me, though. There's actually not a whole lot in it. But as we already discussed, these two have been getting into it all game. We had the penalty kick call earlier, which Nelson wasn't happy about. So there had been a lot of back and forth. So for that reason, I agree with the two penalties here, the two blue card penalties, just based on the previous mix-up earlier in the game. I don't have a problem with it.
We've got a fun one here in Kansas City between the Sockers and Kansas City Comets. Ryan, in my opinion, this is a straightforward shootout here, but the interesting part is when you see Drew Ruggles put on that goalkeeper kit. Why don't you explain to us the rules?
Well, this is the last defender, last man foul, which is an automatic blue card shootout. All the other considerations aren't taken into account at that point. And then what had happened earlier is Pardo went out of the game injured, was in the locker room. So goalkeepers serve their own time penalty, which Williams has to go to the box. And yeah, somebody else has to go into goal then as a goalie.
Another clear-cut shootout to me this time between Utica City FC and Kansas City Comets. This play was challenged by the Utica bench for a foul before the eventual shootout penalty. But Ryan, I've got nothing on this one. What do you see on this play?
Well, Reggett gets wrapped up, held, and then taken down. So this is an example of the clear likelihood of the attacker gaining possession of the ball as one of the shootout considerations. I don't think there's any question there. However, as you said, Utica is wanting a first foul against Reggett for his right arm grabbing the defender. Yes, there's contact, but I think that's normal play in my opinion. The right arm is not impactful overall to that play. I think this is a correct call by Wilkins there for a blue card and a shootout. The call stands.
Tempers flare in the Sockers Comets game. San Diego challenges this play. They want a red card on Rayan Marquez for, a tussle in the box between him and Mitchell Cardenas. Ryan, in my opinion, I don't see anything here. I think this is just physical play. Good decisions by the referee to not give a red card.
San Diego, you said, challenges for a red card. They say that Marquez struck Mitchell. I don't see that. There's not a lot in this. I mean, a lot of games, maybe you just tell both players knock it off and get on with it. But as we know, history and all, these two teams can be a bit volatile when they get together. So I agree there with the referee Austin for giving the two double 2-minute penalties in this case, just to try to calm things down a little bit so it doesn't escalate further.
Ryan, St. Louis is challenging for a foul before Paulo Nascimento's handball here. So they want a foul before what to me looks like a handball on the goalkeeper. Ryan, what do you see here on the challenge?
So, I mean, there's contact at midfield, and then San Diego has possession of the ball. They go down in the handball by Paulo outside of the area. And as you said, I mean, St. Louis wants that contact as a foul, which would have nullified the handball in the shootout. It's a good try, I think, but there's just nothing here, in my opinion. I think it's normal play. The St. Louis player's momentum, I think, is what carries him into the boards. So I have no foul at midfield, and then the handball call, it's a no-brainer, really. It's correct there by the referee, Radford, to go with that.
Ryan, we had a submission for under review from an anonymous player. This call on Willie Be, a blue card for handling outside of the box, went to video review. It was originally called a handball, and the referees upheld their decision. In my opinion, I think this is a good call by the referees. If I pause this angle from behind the net, I do believe the ball is completely past the penalty box line. So handball for me. What about you?
I see the same thing, Phil. I see Willie Be's right hand being outside of the penalty area, and the ball contacts that also outside of the penalty area. I don't see anything on video that would say this was an error to overturn this. This is the handball, in my opinion. I mean, Willie Be wants an apology, but he's not going to get it this time.
Not from us, at least.
Not from me.
A video review here in the game between the San Diego Sockers and Empire Strikers. There's always a video review when these two teams come together. It looks like there is contact above the shoulders by the Empire player on Tavoy Morgan. The question obviously is intent, which is very difficult to judge. Ryan, what do you see here on this play?
Well, there is a contact. I think it's Aguirre, but it's trivial, careless contact there. I don't see a swing. There's no amount of force at all. But this is foul only for me, which is what the referee there, Brian Miller, calls. That's correct in my opinion.
Ryan, Harrisburg is challenging this handball on Andrew Coughlin of Utica City FC. They want a shootout on this play, but in my opinion, I just see a simple handball foul at center court.
Well, the question here was, and it's a good question, I guess, is why wasn't this a blue card against Coughlin, as it was a goalkeeper handball outside the penalty area? The reason why is, I mean, not every handball by a goalkeeper is a penalty. The offense has to break up a promising attack or save a shot on goal, which doesn't happen in this case. I mean, once as a goalkeeper you come out this far, you're just like any other player. So the correct call was made here by Martin, the referee. This is just a foul only.
That's it for this week's episode of Under Review. And Ryan, I'm going to make a prediction here. I think we're going to see you on next week's episode.
Oh, don't say that. That would mean controversy.
That's the whole name of the game, my friend.